guys, so right here I have a half of a large onion, and then I have a half of a red bell pepper. This is one small Roma tomato here, freshly cut, and then I have the 93% lean ground turkey, seasoned salt, crushed red peppers. Back here is some beef broth. I have my olive oil, of course. This is the Prego. This is actually the low sodium one. Red pepper flakes, accent, basil, parsley, Italian, oregano, onion powder, the spaghetti sauce powder mix, seasoning mix from Winco. I'm gonna put a tablespoon of butter in there, and then I have some minced garlic right here. And if we need to, I might have to add some water, so we'll see. All right guys, so I'm gonna go ahead and make this up. Okay, so as the title mentioned in the thumbnail, we are going to make some goulash. This is basically a pasta with red sauce, and we're going to be using some large elbow noodles. You're going to see that in the clips coming up. So right now I'm just breaking up the ground meat. I am actually using a lean ground turkey. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you probably noticed that I don't use a lot of beef on my channel, but you can definitely use any type of ground meat you would like for this. If ground beef is your preference, then by all means definitely go with that, but we typically eat ground turkey over here, so that's what I'm going to use in this recipe right now. But as you can see, even though this is a lean ground meat, you're still going to get some grease or some oil that's going to come off of it. So that is a shot of how much oil came off of that lean ground turkey meat. But this is a trick that I've used. I learned it on TikTok actually, and that's a paper towel, and it's going to soak up all the extra oil that you don't want in the pot. So guys, that's a neat trick. Let me know if you've tried that before. So now I'm going to add in my diced white onion, and that's red pepper. You can also use green pepper. Occasionally I will use green pepper, but typically in my spaghetti or my red sauces, nowadays I prefer to use a red pepper. But I grew up with my mom. She only used a green bell pepper, and I do like green bell peppers, but in my spaghetti sauce, I think that the red pepper, it just gives it a nice little sweetness to it. You know, not too much, but definitely use any type of peppers that you like, or you don't have to use any peppers at all. Now we're going to add about a teaspoon of minced garlic. You can definitely add more if you like, but I'm going to add about a teaspoon of garlic to the pan, and then I'm making sure that I stir that around because you don't want your garlic to burn. If you burn garlic, your dish is ruined. Right here's the spaghetti sauce packet that I get from Winco. This is actually my favorite one, but different brands have different ones that you can use, but I actually prefer this one. I feel like it has a lot more flavor, and I just overall just like the taste of it. So if you can get your hands on, Lowry has one, and I think McCormick has one as well, but you have to be very careful with the sodium. Right now I'm putting a little bit of Lowry seasoned salt, just a little bit, and then I'm going to add in some accent. That is definitely always optional. So yeah, that's accent, and then I'm adding in some basil. And then you guys saw the other ingredients that I had at the beginning. Everything will be listed below in the description bar. But whatever seasonings you'd like to add in your pasta, please do so. So right here you're going to see I am scraping the bottom of the pan. That is very important, guys. There's a lot of flavor in the bottom of the pan, so you do want to scrape that as you're mixing your meat around. That's red pepper flakes, always optional, of course. So now I'm going to add in one of my favorite brands of spaghetti sauce. This is Prego. There's another brand that I like as well. I'll probably try to mention it in the little shot right there. I'll put the name of it. I can't think of it right now. But whatever your favorite brand of spaghetti sauce is, feel free to use that. Or also, you can definitely make your own. But we're making a quick recipe. As usual, you want to taste and see what your flavors are tasting like. right there with some white sugar. Yes, we do add white sugar to our spaghetti sauce, and we're going to add a pat of butter or a tablespoon of butter. Let me know if you're team sugar in your spaghetti or your red sauce. Do you like sugar in there, or do you prefer not to put it in there? Let me know. But I do like to put a little bit of sugar. So here's a helpful tip. If you add a little sugar in your red sauce, your tomato sauce, it will help cut on the acidity. It will help you with heartburn. So that's just a little tip. Right here I'm going to add in some beef broth. So you could probably use chicken broth in this if you like, but I'm trying to get a beefy flavor even though I'm using ground turkey. So I prefer to use the beef broth just because I want it to have more of a beefy flavor. As you can see here, it's gonna look a lot thinner than you would imagine if you're making, you know, pasta in the red sauce, but you're going to see as time goes on that it is going to get thick. So I did put the top on the Dutch oven maybe for about 10 minutes or so. So this is what it looks like. It's a little bit thicker now. As you can see, it has some texture. Right now at this point I am going to add in my elbow noodles, and I think I only used a half a bag. So this was a half a pound of the large elbow noodles. Depending on how much you're making, that will determine how much noodles and how much sauce you need. But I used a pound of the ground turkey, and I'm using a half a pound of the large elbow noodles. So right here, as you can see, it's coming along. And I used that whole container of beef stock because you want it to be thin, because those noodles, as you're going to see, it is going to cook up in the beef broth and the red sauce. See how thick it's getting now? So you want the noodles to absorb all of that, not all of the liquid, but a nice amount of the liquid so that it can cook and be fully cooked when this dish is done. I hope that that makes sense. So right here I had some cheese that was left over from some recipe that I was making. I think I had cheddar, and I think that was some Monterey Jack, but of course you can use whatever type of cheese you like, or if you don't really do dairy like that, you can omit the cheese. But this was just some cheese that I had left over in the refrigerator. So then this is what it's looking like once the cheese has melted. So guys, I'm just gonna add a little bit of parsley, dry parsley flakes on top, and that's just for color, because we know that those do not have any flavor at all. You can definitely use some fresh parsley in this dish if you have it. I actually would prefer that, but I didn't have that on hand, so I'm just using the dried parsley just for flavor. And guys, this is what the dish is looking like. You see how it just soaked up all of that broth, the beef broth, and the red sauce. And this is how I make goulash, guys. So let me know if you make this recipe. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one. See you next time.